Hi, my name is Amber Pritchard. I'm going to be talking to you about the fundamentals and kind of redescribing Chapter 9, which is going to be the individuals with emotional or behavioral disorders. So, to the next slide. Now, when you're defining emotional or behavioral disorders, federal definition of emotional disturbance is going to be a condition that is going to be following by one or more of these characteristics over a long period of time and is marked to a degree that it adversely affects the child's educational performance. So, either the inability to learn, not explained by other factors, the inability to have interpersonal peer relations, the inappropriate behavior or feelings under normal circumstances, the mood of depression or unhappiness, and or the tendency to develop physical symptoms or fears. So that'll be the definition. And then we also have an alternative definition, which is going to be from the Counseling of Children with Behavioral Disorders, emotional or behavioral disorders used in place of emotional disturbance. The behavior or emotional response in schools programs is different from the correct appropriate age in which the child is, and it is more than a temporary response to a stressful event within their home environment or maybe their school environment. It's something that is really hard to be explained, and it's not for a short period of time. So it is a consistent actions, which is at least shown at school for sure, along with maybe the home life or some outside source. So that will be that one. And then the classification of individuals with emotional or behavioral disorders is going to be the clinical classification systems of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Disorders, Mental Disorders, and the 5th edition of text revision of DSM-V. We'll give you the correct criteria, and it is more of a behavior over time across different settings. And then we have the other categories of the behavioral disorders. External and internal behaviors will play a big part in that as well. So the brief history of the field, with the start being 1886, legal distinction between insanity and separation of emotional or behavioral disorders from intellectual disability. In 1909, National Committee of Mental Health Hygiene was established, and then in 1936, they actually were able to publish through Leo, and then in 1960, they were able to have the correct definition of emotional disturbance. Characteristics of students with emotional or behavioral disorders, such as learning characteristics, chronic school failure, grade reduction, and school dropout rates tend to skyrocket here. Difficulty building and maintaining a relationship, have unexplained aggressive behavior, experience rejection, just have bad language barriers, and it's difficult for them to express language, and it's very hard for them to get their point across and not be super aggressive. So that's going to be what the characteristics within the students. And that is kind of your summary of Chapter 9. And I'm hopeful that this was informational for you. Thank you very much.